Oh man, I think we're live already. I didn't even do the pre-show. All right, pre-show and open a channel. People can hear. They're just seeing that. They're seeing that right now. So once you open YouTube and go to Coffee and Cookies, I suppose, view your channel and live videos. 7-second delay, so it should be coming any second now. Come on, come on. I hope it's not going on my other channel. No, I can't. I connected to it. Brave browser. Yeah, I'll check it in Brave because Brave is connected to my other account. And content live. Yeah. Okay. Brave's not. That's not a problem. So we're just waiting for Coffee and Cookie to actually show videos. I did. Are you live actually? Stop streaming. Auto stop. Funny thing, people can hear this right now. They just can't see. There's just the video showing. I just kind of wanted to show the actual live stream, but I know it has a delay. Now it's not showing anything, so that's not ideal. That's Chrome. Chrome usually has no problems. Load, Chrome, load. Yep, there it is. Coffee and Cookies live. All right, we're live. Okay, we are about to go live. Yes. All right. So they're hearing me right now. I never muted anything, so they're hearing me. So people are hearing this, but that's okay. You gotta the growing pains, man. All right, are you there? Are you ready? Are you not there? Two more? Wait, I'm on the wrong channel now. Okay, wait, I see you. Yeah, I guess.
Can you hear me? That's the
Yeah,
important
yeah,
thing.
but I didn't hear you when I was on the other screen. That's just kind of weird. All right, I'll feel better once I see the live stream, come up at the 7-second. But
All right.
anyway,
Well, you know what? No one's watching right now. So,
let's
okay.
assume it is. Wait, I gotta play something. Oh shoot, I lost the panel. But hold on. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear it, but people at home are gonna be able to hear this.
We're seeing our heads right over the text.
Huh? Seeing what?
You can't read. Like, okay, immigration.
Yeah, well, they don't need to read the rest of it yet. I mean, I'm
around.
gonna here.
All right, leave it. It's okay.
Yeah. It's like I'm gonna delete us or there. So here's the things we're talking so that someone could go skip forward once it's not now, but when it's done. Should you go? Top 3 reasons: immigration, destinations, getting around, the people, the food, shopping, the war, tunnels, Da Nang, Hanoi, and the weather. All right. Bring us back. Okay, bring it back. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's play my sound effect. Good morning, Vietnam. You can't hear it, but people can hear it. All right, that was a sound effect from a very famous movie, but not the one you're probably thinking of. Obviously, I'm not going to do some of those sound effects. This is a friendly one. This is the Good Morning Vietnam sound effect. That's what I played. Anyway, and yeah, I got my soundboard working, so we have sound effects now, but we're not how you use them. So this is, for all that are at home right now, this is Vietnam. We're going to talk about should you go and the reasons and all that fun stuff. So I'm James, and you are...
And this is Terry, and this is the show, we try to cover different topics on the show. Sometimes we talk about personalities, sometimes we talk about TV shows, and often one of our favorite things to do is traveling, and so we will have a travel show. So anyway, that's why we're having this show. This is Terry. It's been a couple of months since we've done a live show, and the fan is asking for it.
Yeah, well, I don't see any fans in the channel yet, so we're just kind of waiting on that. But I'm going to go ahead and mute the channel so I can actually play it live. Here we go. No sound. There we go. And now I can play the... So hopefully I'm just going to get the 7 seconds. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff to talk about. There are my titles up there, and I got some photos. This isn't going to be like a slideshow, family vacation slideshow type thing, because nobody wants to see all that for like 2 hours or hour, whatever it's going to be. But They don't. But I think it'll be interesting. And let's just start on our talking points. And the first one was like, yeah, should you go, who it's for, and what to expect if you do. That's where you're going to cover. Because, you say Vietnam. And I said to Vietnam to people, I'm going to Vietnam. My mom didn't even believe me. She's like, I thought it was a joke. I'm like,
Why
no,
would you think it's a joke?
I don't know.
Thinking there's still war going on?
I don't know, it just like seems like, wait, why on earth would you go to Vietnam? It's like, and I'd been there before. It wasn't like I've never been. I've been to Asia before, so it was just kind of, I think people just don't think you go to Vietnam, that maybe it's closed off, it's communist, there's reasons. It's just not in anyone's list. All we know about it, a lot of people, is the movies. Like, oh, there was a war there, and there's movies about it, and all the movies are about the war. I mean, how many people have seen a movie about Vietnam that wasn't the Vietnam War? So
that's interesting. Yeah.
And there's
I can't
other.
remember the last movie.
I've seen it come up
people just wanted
more.
to hang out.
Yeah, like you get past Platoon and all those movies, and it's like always a Full Metal Jacket is always the war. But I've seen it come up for manufacturing. Vietnam is big on manufacturing. I have a pedestal table that is from Vietnam. I mean, it was from one of those shopping sites that just not Amazon, and it's like it said, oh, it's from Vietnam. I thought, cool. I hope the quality is good. It's not like, is it going to be like better than like China or Taiwan or anything? Because it's a table. I wanted it to look nice, and it's actually very nice. It came with a good price. The only caveat, it was missing the pedestal. It's a pedestal table, and it has no pedestal. So I contacted the manufacturer, like, no problem, we'll send you a pedestal. So anyway, and it's the #2 coffee exporter. So what do you think? What are your initial thoughts on Vietnam, Mr. Moore?
Well, I mean, in my industry, which is consumer electronics, so I know a lot about Vietnam. You and I, the first time you and I went back in a while ago. We were the northern part, and I went back, I think once, maybe twice. I think once for work, largely just to check out the manufacturers over there. It is huge. It is huge for with the whole tariffs on China and the political tension with China. Vietnam is a popular destination now for a lot of companies to open up factories. The companies that I work at right now have factories in Vietnam as well. So, there's a non-zero chance that I'll be going there for work as well. Vietnam, it's I didn't know what to expect from a tourist destination. When you and I went, it was very rural, and it was still very underdeveloped. I went back to the same place, I think about 10 years later, and it's like modernized, right? Big hotels, Ferris wheel, gondolas, beach parties, DJs, and rave parties on the beach and whatnot. So it's not the same place that you and I went. I mean, it's an unknown. It's a hidden gem for tourists. People think of Southeast Asia. They think of Thailand, which I know quite a bit as well. They don't think about Vietnam, and I wanted to go to Vietnam in December, primarily because there's so much investment that's happening in Vietnam. Already, in the last 10 years, Vietnam has changed so much that it will continue to change, much like what China did 20, 30, 40 years ago. So I wanted to go because there is a time clock on Vietnam, right? Like you almost want to go sooner than later because it's going to change and get modernized. And I'm glad I did. But that's what I think of when I think of Vietnam. I didn't know what to expect about Saigon. Going to Saigon, that's where you and I went. We'll talk a little bit more about it. But it is much more advanced and developed than I had expected. So it was a fresh adventure for me. What about you? What surprised you about Vietnam in this trip?
I guess, yeah, Saigon, I had no idea, and we call it Saigon. Technically, officially it's Ho Chi Minh City, but a lot of people there still call it Saigon. It's just if you're looking for it on Google Flights, I can't find Saigon. Yeah, it doesn't exist. It's Ho Chi Minh City. It was renamed actually in '75 after the fall of the South, and the North said we own it now, so we're going to call it this after our great leader. But it's like the old one. We have a comment. You should mention the cashews. I was snacking on cashew. Oh, nice. I do miss the cashews. I don't have any of them. Even if I brought some home, they'd probably be gone by now. So what can you do? But Elaine is currently snacking on the cashews. That's another big thing, obviously, from Vietnam. Not obviously, but surprisingly, I shouldn't say obviously. Surprisingly, they are very big for cashew. exports. So I don't know, like the kind we had there, they still have a little bit of a burnt shell or whatever, like a little outer. You kind of have to peel it off. So they're shelled. Do they come in shells? I don't know anything about cashews. I know what you get when you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might. There's a hard shell similar to like walnut. Okay, let's get back on our topic
So
here.
our
So
main
what do you think
reasons.
of?
Okay, well, go ahead and ask.
So what do you think of when we're in Vietnam? Jungle, big city, big suburban area.
Well, I
Yeah,
expected to be, yeah, in the city. Because of going to Hanoi, you kind of know that once you're in a big city, you're surrounded by city. It seems like hours to actually get into like the rural jungle, like kind of where there just isn't a city, like especially on the sides of the road. Like for the first hour driving outside the city, you always see like more businesses and more shopping or just a lot of garages and places, service places on the side of the road. So the city is huge. I think there are similarities to it, but yeah, if you went up high and looked down, you would just see a sea of houses and homes, and certain parts skyscrapers. So it's just a big city, and there are pros and cons with that, of course. So if you're sensitive to noise and traffic and that, it's like probably not a place, but you'd get that in London. That's a whole different type of vacation. But I like to say, this ain't London. It's a whole different type. You have to be, I think, a little more adventurous. If you've never been out of the U.S. before, yeah, no, I wouldn't make this your first stop.
so you've been to London many times, right? So it's a big city. And you've been to Mexico City. What's the biggest difference between Mexico City, London, and Ho Chi Minh City?
Well, of course, obviously the language is the big thing first, but in both Mexico City and in Vietnam, you don't have to speak the language. Since Mexico City is not as big as like the tourist cities, you could come across people that don't speak any English at all. Even at service, like you went into a churro place and no one there spoke English. Even young people didn't speak it. So you can expect that maybe more in Mexico City, I think, than even in Vietnam. I think somebody young in Vietnam at a service or tourist place, they're going to speak it. So the language is a big thing, but in transportation, I think can be trickier. I was kind of hoping beforehand that Uber worked, but Uber, because I have that app downloaded, but you just download a different app. It's literally that easy. So you really just have to decide, are you comfortable being on the back of someone's motorbike and saying, let's drive around? Or would you rather
I
be in a
thought that was a
car?
lot of fun. I
Yeah,
thought that was a
yeah.
lot of fun. Did you like it? Did that
Uh,
sit in the back of a scooter bother you?
No, actually, I was only on the back of a scooter the one time for the street tour, and then as you go, you get more comfortable with it. You give up having to control things, but you don't in a car either way. I mean, at first you're holding out both hands, and then by the end of it, I'm like filming and like almost like with no hands. So
You
you
kind
get
of
more
get used to it.
comfortable, and you have like turnabouts with like thousands of bikes and cars at the same time. You just kind of like no one's going excessively fast anyway. So I think when you're not going that fast, you just think, it would suck to get hit, but probably won't die.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so not London. So what's the number one reason that you would recommend for somebody who's, hey, I'm thinking about going to Vietnam? What would be like top two or three reasons that you would give them to go to Vietnam?
I think. I mean, I'm not going to say cost first because, I think sometimes money doesn't matter as much as your comfort level. So I think kind of you've gone to like some of the other places first. You're kind of getting bored of like I've been to London 8 times, so I would still, don't get me wrong, I would go next week if I could. But I think if you've done the other things, you just want something different and you want something unique and unusual and kind of more special. Like, if someone says they went to London, that's cool, you went to London. But if they said, oh, you went to Vietnam, that's more interesting to talk about at this point because it's less
Really?
common.
Do you get a lot of like the strong reactions? You mentioned your mom, but what about other people?
Yeah, other
You
people
know,
like, whoa, it's like, dang, Vietnam, that's wild. That's just like, I think you get a more of a reaction to Vietnam if you said Taiwan, but if you said Taiwan, they would think you're going to Thailand. And so,
yeah. Said, I love Thai food. It's not the same
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, so yeah, you definitely get people that it's just more interesting to talk about. But again, I wouldn't say it's your should be your first trip. So that's one reason. Well, yeah, the uniqueness. And for you, you talked a lot about cost. So what do you
Well,
think's the
number one, Vietnam is it's a very inexpensive place to be. If you go on a website called costofliving.com or something like that, do a ranking of cost of living cities around the world from the most expensive to the least expensive. Vietnam is way on the bottom. And it's not to say that it's underdeveloped, but there's something magical about going to a place where, you don't have to worry about what you spend, right? And the meal's so inexpensive, services are so inexpensive. You can just kind of go, hey, I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna do one of everything, just because things are so inexpensive. I find cost to be a major motivation for going to Vietnam. One of the main reasons for going to Vietnam, not because it's cheap for the sake of being cheap, but because you do get a lot of there are a lot of modern services like restaurant services, bars. I mean, I mean, I don't know if they're world class, but they're not, country bumpkin, shacks everywhere. I mean, you can find them street side food, but there are a lot of, fancy looking restaurants that you can go into, have a proper meal, similar to what you would get in Seattle for probably, what would you say, about a quarter to
Yeah,
maybe
I
a
mean, I
third of
think
the cost in the
a
US?
quarter to a third, depending on the items. But in some places, you're talking like, I mean, example, some places the pho is down to $1. I'm not probably not much. It's harder to find that inside Saigon, but
Yeah.
there's places where it's $1. I looked up for fun, like a local restaurant in Seattle. How much? $20, and
Yeah, 24 bowl of
that's
pho. That's
for a
insane.
yeah, so now we're talking almost 21, but there are things where we found like, okay, a cup of coffee at one of those nicer places, that's going to be probably half as much as you'd pay at other places. I mean, like
Yeah.
some were up to like the equivalent of like $3.80, a muffin or a scone or something like that for $2 to $3. So you're saving, but it's not that different. It's just the fact that you're not tipping and you're not paying a service fee, you're not paying a living wage, you're not paying health care for the workers. All that kind of stuff just gets annoying, I think, for some people, and I get tired of it. And I don't like to go out to eat very often because it's not just the price of the food alone. It's just like, I don't know how much I'm going to pay for it. I don't like being ripped off, so I don't want all these extra charges. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to go buy it at Safeway, and now I know exactly how much I'm going to pay. But yeah, food. And the other thing about food is it's not going to be like you say, oh, Vietnamese food. I don't know if I could eat that. Like, well, what dishes can't you eat? I don't know. What do they serve? I'm like, well, there you go. It's like you don't even know anything about the food. You're just assuming it's Asian food. And that can be true. Like a lot of places I've seen in China, there are places where it's like, you better know what you're ordering because you may not like it. Vietnam, it's like aside from goat udder, or like the udders, which I didn't even have this
First time
time.
we went.
Yeah, it's like I didn't really come across any food I didn't like that I was just like, oh, I can't eat that. It was like every single thing, and most of it was like, oh, give me more. So it wasn't like, it's
Yeah.
okay. It was like, this is exceptionally good, and I can eat as much. Same way I feel like when I order Chinese food, when it's American Chinese food, there's almost nothing on the menu here that I don't like or wouldn't eat as much as I could.
Yeah, when it comes to food, so a lot of people are cautious about going to a country like Vietnam. It's like, I don't know if I can eat the food. Oh my God, they're cooking on the side of the road. That's so dirty. What if I get sick, right? I thought it was, I mean, I didn't get sick once when I was in Vietnam. I mean, I hear horrible stories, but
Yeah.
I wasn't overly cautious either. I mean, I went to restaurants that are frequently visited by tourists. I mean, some of them are even Michelin recommended restaurants. You know, Leslie, when we were in London last year, we went to London and went to Liverpool and went up to Scotland. Edinburgh, Scotland, and Leslie was sick as a dog, right? And so it's like, well, okay, you can get sick almost anywhere because it's a different food than what you're accustomed to. But I had no concerns about the food in Vietnam. And as far as the type of food in Vietnam goes, I mean, obviously you're going to get Vietnamese food, right? You're going to get your banh mi, you're going to get your pho, and it's really, really good compared to what you get in the US for a fraction of the cost. but you also get Western food, pizza, excellent pizza in Vietnam, and it's a sit-down place like you would see in Seattle or anywhere else. You could get a hamburger in a very cafe-looking restaurant. You could get I didn't try Mexican food when I was in Vietnam,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
a very metropolitan. It's very, I had a lot of Japanese food when I was in Vietnam. The sushi was fantastic. The raw fish was fantastic. The izakaya was really good. The atmosphere felt like it was. I felt like I was in Japan. So, I give food in Vietnam a very very high rating. Not just Vietnamese food, but food from other countries as well for a fraction of the cost. I thought
Yeah, food is
good reason.
yeah, I think food is a great reason. I mean, stuff that's very memorable. You can try it and compare, like the banh mi here, banh mi there, the pho there. Yeah, we can say a lot about food. What another reason? Now this isn't a reason of mine as much, but shopping.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, so my both of my daughter went, Elaine and Brianna went with us, right? And mostly Brianna, rightfully, she went crazy on shopping, right? And it's just a huge destination for K-pop. So there are a lot of stores that caters to K-pop. So if you're into K-pop, Vietnam is not Saigon is not a bad place to visit. I one night I went to pick up some clothes. She had left already, and I stayed in Vietnam extra 2 days. And she asked me to go by this one store to pick up some a shirt and pants. Right, it's entire street full of shopping. I mean, I'm not into it, but I could see somebody who really are into like K-pop fashion. Saigon is a great place to go, and custom tailor suits. You had one done. My
Yeah,
wife Leslie had a
this.
couple done, and Brianna had a couple done. Right? It's what you think of the tailor
Yeah,
suit?
the tailor and custom tailoring thing. Because for starters, you're going to get a lot of knockoffs, especially in the city. Like a lot of stuff you buy. Oh, it's a Liz Claiborne, and it's like 10%, or Ray Bans. I don't have them anymore, but I
You
remember
don't
buying.
have to Ray Ban
I remember
anymore.
buying $5 Ray Bans at the first time place, and I knew they were fake. I mean, it's like the whole you don't get them for $5, but they actually were a fine pair of. I just needed a pair of sunglasses for $5, and that was fine. They don't have. They can be knockoffs. The same thing like I think people feel about Rolex and stuff like that. It's like it doesn't matter if it's real or not, just to look cool. So I think with the suits, they actually do have a good quality, and it just was sort of like you see these videos. If you see a video about $100 suit, it's a very old video, or they're not sold for $100, and it's also a good, better, best type, or not even good, better, best. It's like sucky, okay, and really nice. So yeah, the sucky thing is like that's just so they can say it's $100, but it's not even that. The
Yeah.
sucky price was like almost 200, and then the decent one was like 300, and like a nice one was like 400. So those are the realistic prices you're going to pay. But if you looked on, I checked out. Well, how much is it in Seattle? Maybe 1,300 to start with, and that's probably the sucky
For a
stuff.
tailor
But
suit?
yeah, it's like I think 1,300 to 3,000 is kind of the ballpark I got. I think for a good quality, like just something that's really sharp. Yeah,
Mm.
tailored like 3,000. So yeah, I was like, it's more than I want to pay. But in the end, they kind of like decided, why don't I just get a nice coat? And I was happy with the coat, and it looks like. It kind of like from a distance, it looks like my other coat I already have, but it's
I
my
saw your video. No, it's not the
yeah.
same. Yeah.
Well, my
I
other
could
coat
tell
is
the tailor one looks so much better.
yeah, the this one's because it's tailor made. It's like just fits around your forearm, so like my other one I've had 20 years. It's like I'll always fit it, but this one it could easily outgrow it. Or not, or just I can't shrink much more. But I think it's like it doesn't offer. It's just a different kind of fit. It's like, and I don't know.
Yeah.
The videos they say, well, they have the European or the Italian and the European and the American, and they each cater like for the American. It just like has to like be like a tent over you, so you hide things. The Italians or whatever, like no, it's got to show off your body. And they have magazines there, and it's like, oh, well, here you go. And it's like, I expected it to be like, okay, here's the European fit section, here's this section, here's these fabrics. And it was just like people went through magazines and cut out pictures of like David Beckham. And it's like, there you go. And it's like, oh, make me look like David Beckham. And which is fine, because like you're going to pick with like, you shouldn't pick by a name, you should pick by like what
Yeah.
look suits you. So I think I had a fun time. It was a good experience, and I think it worked out well for what I paid. Just the coat, and I didn't need a full suit, and Yeah, now I just gotta have to find slacks that match the coat. But
Yeah, I thought
that
it
was
was
my
really
shopping. I didn't do any of the other shopping really. There's nothing I needed to buy, so for me, shopping was kind of lost. But that is something to consider. That when you're in Saigon, kind of like your day to day, the two biggest things options are you really going to go out and shop or go out and eat. Outside of that, you got to find like tours to go on, or maybe there's some parks, but it sort of gets to be limited. I think there's theater too to some degree or entertainment that you can buy, but those are
Well,
really
you
the
could
big
have
things.
a pamper day, right? Okay, this is what happens. You wake up in the morning, you go for a nice cup of coffee, right? Good coffee, right? You walk around, and then maybe you do a little shopping. I'm not into it, but some people are into shopping, so you do a little shopping, and you get tired, right? What did you and I do?
Oh yeah, you
We
go
go
get a
get pampered and
Yeah, you get a
massage.
massage. Yeah, that's the other thing that now it's cheap. Well, I mean, I'm talking 15 years. I really remember $8 for a 2-hour massage in Thailand, and that was just great. And it's a family. These are family massages. These aren't hanky panky, but
Yeah,
two
get your Maya together.
hours. Yeah. Shame on you. 2 hours for eight. So here it's not going to be $8. It's going to be more like 25 or so. But you could also go one
Two
hour,
hours.
60 minutes. Yeah, it is 2 hours. I would say that for me, it's like, that seems a little long because by the end, they're like washing my hair for like 20 minutes. Like, I don't need a 20-minute hair wash. It's like, now I'm cold. I was actually getting cold. It's like, your hair's wet. It's like, no, I'm freezing. So, because I like the temperature. I set the temperature in my room to like 83, the equivalent. It's in Celsius, but I was
Yeah.
like, I liked it warm, so that was actually a nice thing about it. So yeah, all right. Massages. Yeah, how many massages did you have? You had like eight
Oh
or
gosh,
something.
I was massaged out. I had, I don't know, just off the top of my head, maybe five or six. And there's the massage and there's the pampering where they shave, they kind of lather up your face and for 2 hours and massage your forehead. It was just it was a fun experience. It's a good way to get pampered. I mean, it's not something I would do in the U.S., but when in Rome or when in
Yeah.
Saigon, do that. But toward the end, my whole body was just so sore from massages. I never thought I would say this, right? But I was putting massage down. I'm like, okay, no more massage. I'm done. Stop.
Yeah,
I'll give you the money to stop.
there's like they have lists of like what you can say. Oh, I want to shave, or I want the hair, like the fingers or back, and levels like in hard, medium, like you're going to be
Yeah.
in pain. So you can like pick. They didn't actually when I was there, they didn't speak English, so that is one thing. Or their English was extremely limited, so you're not going to be able to communicate a whole lot.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was an
There are
interesting thing.
places. I mean, I went to one place where, it obviously caters to a lot of foreigners, right? But before you and I met up, I was there like 2 days ahead of time. And I went to a place where they ask you if you speak English, Mandarin, Japanese, or Korean. And they will pair you with
Oh,
somebody who
that's a good idea.
actually speak the language, right? But by the time I can chit chat and this, that, or the other, right? But it put something over my mouth, so I couldn't talk anyway. So it didn't make a difference because one of the menu thing I pick is like I want a facial. I want to do something on my face. So they put this mask over my face and let it sit there for like an hour. So it's covering my mouth. So and then they cover my eyes. I can see anything. So I'm like, I'm not going to talk to somebody I can't see. So, but you could do that, right? If they massage, you can ask them about like, hey, what's there to do in Saigon? It's just a way to be pampered and entertained, and I thought that was a lot of fun. Okay, so we
Yeah.
talk about food, we talk about
So,
shopping,
sh-
we talk
so
about massages.
like we're talking about costs. What about flying over there? Like, I mean, is it thousands of dollars? How much is it going to cost someone like, from the U.S.? We're talking like.
Okay, so I'm a proponent. I actually did some research on this, right? So I went on the Google Travel. So for somebody who say, "Hey, I just want to go to Vietnam," sounds great. I want to go to Vietnam, but I don't want to spend a lot of money. Right? What's the cheapest flight that could get me to Vietnam and back from Seattle? And if price varies depending on the time of the year. But if you are okay traveling in April, you can get a round trip ticket from Seattle to Vietnam for ta-da, $612.
Yeah,
Six hundred and twelve dollars.
that is like. I mean, you're going to be in economy, but I mean, the thing is, if you fly to different times, I was in economy and I paid like I don't know, like $1,500. So, yeah, I mean, that's I mean, coast to coast, you could pay that much easily, even one way on some flights. So the
I paid
flight,
that much
yeah.
going to Sacramento.
Yeah, dang. So yeah, the flight cost can be really low, and you're going to be on like I flew on Starlux, like Starlight, relatively new Taiwanese airline, and they do a lot to make up for the biggest downside, which is going to be an extremely tiny seat. And when that thing comes in front of you, you have to go back just to get that out of your face. So that's the main sacrifice, is the very, very tiny cramped seats. And it's like over 12 hours the first flight. So you just have to know that. If you're used to that, for all those that are used to economy, then just that's what you can, then you might have
You'll
to
be
better
fine.
tolerance.
Just kind of, like set yourself down and expect a long flight. I mean, it is a long flight, but I think that's probably why some people, don't think of Vietnam as a tourist destination. Because the
Yeah.
first leg is like 12 hours, then you have a layover. You had a layover in Taiwan. I had a layover in Korea, and then there's another 3 or 4 hours to go from to get to Ho Chi Minh, right? So the total travel is like 19 hours.
Yep,
Right.
yeah, that was about my day of travel, 19 hours, and that can be just extremely draining, just tiring. And I mean, I don't even take up a lot of room, but I was just hurting. My legs were just not used to it. I just could not get comfortable in my body. So just so you know, yeah, it's
Drugs.
economy, yeah, drugs.
Drugs.
It's going to be tight, and you're just going to have to deal with it. I will say their entertainment system, they give you HBO, and the screens are big. They connect to Bluetooth now, so if you can, you have two directions you can go. Just try to sleep the whole way, or actually be kind of awake and alert, and then enjoy your mealtime. 2 decent-sized meals. Ironically, extremely small. Maybe their bathrooms get too backed up, but they just give you a little bit of Coke, and that's it. Like, holy cow! Like I was expecting the whole can. Yeah, but they make up for it's a small seat, but otherwise they make up for it. And like I said, if you only paid $600 for that round trip, you'd be getting an exceptionally good deal. And you wouldn't be paying a lot. The other cost, of course, is lodging. What are hotels over there?
Yeah, so when you and I were there and my family were there, we stayed at Airbnb. So that's kind of it's not cheap, and we also went at an expensive time, right? But I did stay at hotel 2 days before and 2 days after meeting up with all of you, and I choose inexpensive hotels just because that's my comfort level. So I was staying at hotels that were nice. I mean, I would say they're nicer than Best Western or the hotel they stayed at in Pleasanton, in a very fancy location, walking distance to all the cool places in Ho Chi Minh. I was paying like $35 a night, and these are clean, comfortable, quiet hotels, good service, not a lot of pampering. It's not like a 5-star hotel. I think they rank them like 3 stars. But I was very happy with it. So $35, and that's for one person. So if I have another person with me, it would be $35 for 2 people.
Yeah, it's 20 to 35, and you can be staying at a decent place. So the lodging, and then we did the Airbnbs. We had a group of 5 people, so Airbnb was a great option when you divide it down. So all 3 things, the main cost: flights, food, thing. A beer. What was a beer? I mean, I wasn't drinking at the time, but a buck or something.
Yeah, so on the one of the main popular walking streets, so after you have dinner, what do I do? Right, there are a bunch of places you can go, and if you're into partying, there are a bunch of party places. But on these party places, there are bars with live music, and these are Filipino singers. And I don't know what it is about Filipino singers. They are great, right? So they were playing live music, very entertaining. I could sit and watch them for maybe a couple hours. I won't say hours, but a couple hours. And the beer was like 75 cents USD, and I would get a cocktail like a mojito, and that was around like maybe $2, right? So we're just drinking as much as we can. I drank more in Vietnam than I had in the previous 5 years, just because things are so cheap.
Oh, this just in. We're down now, but we were up to 5 watchers at one point. 5 watchers.
Oh, we were. Who were the watchers?
It doesn't tell me who they are, but 5 different people and some comments. We have Adam.
Shout out.
Laney, shout out. Adam, shout out. And all the people that are going to be watching later.
UP.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to UP.
UP, we're going to do a special UP video one of these days.
Yes.
If people want that, they may say, don't do it. Don't Don't mention us. But we're willing to, just so you know. So yeah, so the
Alcohol's
costs, alcohol's cheap. No, you're wondering how do I get, I don't know if we organize it this well, but how do I get internet and stuff like that? You can buy an eSIM card now, especially if you've got a recent phone. Like in the olden days, man, it was so insane. But now I'm just going to talk about, I'm not going to live in the past. Nowadays, you download an app, connect it up, you pay $20 and you're probably good for 2 weeks and you'll have plenty of data.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have any shortage of data when I was in Vietnam. It was fantastic. You know, broadband, very accessible. I didn't have any internet connection problem. Not even. Do we have problems when we were in the country? I think even in the countries, I don't remember being. I was able to watch YouTube still. So.
Yeah, I imagine it was, but yeah, everything worked great. And I will say this: we'll get into transportation, but since we're doing costs, when I had to go to the airport the final day, and I had to go from the middle of the city to the airport, it was probably about 40 minutes because of traffic, so about 45 minutes and about 20 miles. It was the equivalent of about $5. Going from like Capitol Hill to Seattle Airport here, 12 miles, 13 miles, it can be 20 minutes with no traffic. It's usually about $80. So $5 versus 80. So yeah, costs, so now people I think have decided, all right, well, okay, we want to go. What do we go? Now what do I got to know? So the next thing, of course, is immigration. You want to go, you can't just walk right in. You can't waltz right in and say, I'm here. You got to get a visa. These days, you go to a website, fill out a form, show you all your information, pay like $20, and then just wait a long, long time. I think, and I think they're kind of in like, well, probably have a good system of organizing, like who needs it first? Like who's coming in the next?
Who's around the corner?
yeah. Because they did it weeks early, and it still took like a couple weeks. But I think they're just
it didn't take a couple weeks. It took like 48 hours.
No,
I did it on Friday. That's what happened. Oh, you know what I did? I submitted, and then they didn't like my photo, right?
Oh.
So I had to retake some photos. Yeah, it didn't take that long. I mean, it was longer than I want because Leslie and girls were getting really anxious, like, oh my God, we don't have our visa yet. I'm like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. We ended up getting our visa in about 3-4 days. So yep, you do have to get a visa. It's not a difficult process. You go online. Provide your information, mostly like your blood type. I kid you not, your blood type, your height, your weight. Just a lot of things that are important to Asian countries. That
we got to mention that Andrea's watching too. So not just Adam.
Oh, Andrea's watching. Andrea from Tucson. Shout out to Tucson.
I think they're watching in the same channel, so we're not going to get an extra subscriber for that. But we're back up to 5. Oh man!
Yeah,
if we just
five subscribers,
if we do 10x every year, that'd be like 50, 500, 5,000.
Hey, we do have 22,000 subscribers now, so maybe with this show we'll get more Vietnamese subscribers. So now that we convince everybody, it's like, hey, it's cheap, great restaurants, fun place to go, lodging is good. One thing I want to mention about lodging too, right? So I kind of bundled my work trip with the trip to Vietnam. So when I was on the company's money, right, I was staying at like really fancy hotels when I was in other parts of China. Really fancy, orders of magnitude more expensive. I didn't get much more out of it than my $35 hotel in Vietnam. I actually, found the $35 hotel in Vietnam to be a lot more fun. The place I was staying at, that was a lot more expensive. It caters more to the Americans. But if you have a spirit of adventure and you're comfortable, just kind of, they all spoke English. I can't even say it's different than like Best Western. But if you're comfortable with it, it is a really inexpensive place to go. Okay, so we convince people to go. They want to go now. They say, I can't wait. So
got their tickets. They got the visa.
Got the ticket.
Next thing to do that I didn't even know about is I don't even know where you do it. I didn't do any research on that. Is because I'm not going back right now. Avoid the immigration lines. Pay for whatever you can. Someone had told me when I was like the next day after I went through immigration, we're going to pay the $25 and skip all that. What? Huh?
Well, why would you spend $25 to expedite the immigration? How long did it take you to get through the immigration? And just to be clear, this after you got your visa, what you do online, right? Your plane lands, and when my plane landed, everybody was like rushing, out of the plane. They were running to the immigration. I'm like, why is everybody running, right? Then I found out, right? It was very, very slow. It was a very,
Yeah.
very slow process. It took me about an hour and a half to get through the immigration. How long did it take you?
I think it was about 90 minutes. It was just,
Hour and a half.
yeah, it was tough. I mean, it was like that, and I was like carrying all my stuff on me and my clothes, and like, oh man, it was miserable. I would say, yeah, if you can
And
pay
you were
25
tired.
bucks, yeah, I was just, if you can pay 25, it's highly worth it. I mean, it's not a great way to start your like first moments there. It's
Yeah,
awful.
yeah.
But after that, once you get outside, once you're through immigration, you feel really good, especially you look back at the line, think, because it got even worse after I went through. I think I was at a decent place. So, yeah, they're there, immigration, and I would say, don't forget to use the bathroom before you get in that line, unless you have someone that can hold your place for you, because it's going to be a long time.
Long time. Did you find the language to be a barrier when you were in Saigon? I
No,
did not at
no.
all.
I found it actually harder, I think, in places like Mexico City, where,
Yeah.
or was it? I don't know. I think it was Mexico City where there were people that in immigration that didn't even speak English. I'm like, this is kind of a place where you would think everyone would, but yeah, never once. And remember, they have apps that can help you. Now, hopefully in the future, Google or Apple will get Vietnamese as one of the languages. So when someone talks, in Vietnamese,
Oh, it does.
this
It has it.
it didn't when I was there. It would have happened in the past few weeks.
No, it has it. It has. I used it before. Not on this trip, but
Wait, on
the
Apple AirPods? You don't even have
no,
Apple
not on Apple.
AirPods.
Like Google
No,
Google
no, no.
Translate.
Yeah, Google has all that stuff. Google has every language. I'm talking.
Yeah.
Apple is going to have like for Spanish and a couple other languages. When someone's speaking Spanish, it listens and it translates live in your ears, and then when you speak, it just like goes through your phone or whatever. But
Oh,
it's just
I
not one of
remember
the
that.
languages. Yeah, that was one of the things they sold you on, but they only have like 6 languages so far. So it would have been cool. That would have been a really cool feature. But yeah, you can just either type it in your phone or talk in your phone and let Google do it. So Google's done a great job there. So that helps. But I never used it. No.
Yeah, when I was in Vietnam, I know like you and the girls were like learning to say thank you, please. And
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
learned
Well,
nothing. I just go, oh, is what I want, right? But most places, even 7-Eleven, surprisingly, I'm like, oh, and they, they will help me with how much money because in Vietnam dong is like like a bottle of Coke is something like 400,000 or something like that,
yeah.
right? So the thing is just insane. And half the time I lose track of like, well, which one is what? How many zeros in this one? And they were just kind of, oh, sir, this is what you do is 20,000. They will reach into my wallet and pull out money. But they were very honest about it, right? Not once that I get scammed, not in 7-Eleven anyways. But I found that
Yeah.
most restaurants they spoke some English, so I didn't feel the need to learn any English at all.
Yeah, currency, I mean, if you're going, it could change, but I just thought the thing I did was 10,000 dong is 38 cents. So 100,000, $3.80, and you're not going to face a million very often, but that would be $38. So if you can get that, it's like 20,000, all right, which 38 cents doubled, or 50,000, well, times like half of $3.80. So just do things like that, but it's not that big. It's a cash-based society for the most part, but I guess, well, no, I would say.
It's all cash. It's all cash.
They'll always
I
take
do
cash, but there
recall
are places that will take credit cards too.
credit card.
Well,
I'm trying to
restaurants,
remember.
restaurants are fine
Yeah.
with credit card. Just smaller places. Yeah, if you
Um,
go to 7-Eleven, they're gonna want they like cash.
so,
They
so,
like
so what
cash.
else do you? So what else do you need when you're there? You have your phone, right? Your data plan. It's great. You have cash and ATM. You can find ATM. You use your American ATM card, and you can get out money without any troubles. So what else do you need? You have your hotel. In restaurants, how'd you find restaurants? Or well, you didn't. You
Oh, well,
don't
remember,
eat.
yeah, but you have all of the internet now. It's like these days, the internet. I mean, I remember going when I used to travel and buying those, like, let's go to Italy books, and it's got
Yeah.
recommendations and the stars, and you got to go, oh, you got to go find this place. And now it's like, Yelp and Google reviews and all those places. I don't think
Yeah.
someone's going to have a hard time with that, especially if you kind of know what you like. Or then we talked about food. When I go to I don't know a lot about Indian food except for like 3 dishes that I know I like and I always get because it's going to be like $20 an entree. I don't want to take a chance and order a $20 thing I don't like, so I always order the same 3 items, but never experiment anything new because like I don't want to take a risk. There's never an opportunity I have. And someone said, well, just go to one of those lunch buffets. Like I could, but I'm too lazy. So anyway, it's nice when you're just like cheap. It's like just give me one of everything and I'll see what I like and write down what I like. So I think that's a huge advantage of inexpensive food.
Yeah, you could just say, I want one. I don't know if I like this, but I'll take one just in case, and I'll take a bite. If I don't like it, I'll just throw it away. But as things would have it, everything was really good, so I ended up wanting to eat everything. Okay, so we talked about people want to go, and this is what they needed to do when they get there, and what to expect when you're there. So some of the destinations.
Yeah, where are they going to get off the plane?
visit.
Where do they want to get off the plane?
Yes. Once they get off the plane, like an airplane or
the
Great Plain of Nebraska.
Get off the plane. Yeah,
The
I
airplane.
guess. Era, once you get off the airplane, what city do you want to be in? And there's some. The two biggest choices, of course, are Hanoi or Saigon. Again, it's been a while, but I would say pick Saigon probably over Hanoi. I think it seems like it's a little more popular for international or Western tourists to go to Saigon. So I would say that. But people are picking Da Nang for other reasons, depending on why you're there or what you expect. If you love the food and okay with crowds and noise, then yes, then Saigon. But if you want quieter streets, so they're quiet at night and a different experience than Da Nang, and some great tours from Da Nang we'll talk about. But that's what I would say if you can handle it, then start with Saigon and work your way up north.
Yeah, for sure. And what's there to do in Saigon? What are some of the tours that you enjoy?
We did the Koochee tunnels. They're nearby. There's a lot of things that we don't even know about, but that was the one we picked. And you got to fire weapons, which I liked.
AK-47, pa 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 pa. Fire for AK-47, 10 rounds.
Yeah, it's not like I enjoy doing it a lot, but I say, it's not like you got to have this on your bucket list of life. It's just a fun thing to do, and very inexpensive. So I think it's worth it if you're only there like 3 days, and like, well, I don't know, you might have a better tour, more suited. But I thought it was a cool tour, so that's one thing. You go to the War Memorial Museum, a little depressing, and you only need, if you want to really read a lot that's there, it would take a whole day, but you're probably going to get tired. A couple hours is probably all you need, if that.
I thought they did a pretty good job of kind of sharing both sides. The War Museum, they don't call it the Vietnam War Museum, as you can imagine. They call it the American War Museum. And the narrative is that this was a war that a foreign country, America, prevented us from getting our independence. You learn a lot about the not so nice things that happened to the Vietnam War through the eyes of Vietnamese people, for lack of a better term. Yeah, it's not a happy place.
Yeah, well, we have that on our list, but not too much more to say about that. Da Nang, why would they go to Da Nang? I guess I'd heard of Da Nang from like a little bit about the Vietnam War, but I'd never thought of it as a tourist place at all.
Interesting fact: Da Nang Beach is the first place where American soldiers, like the actual American, not the consultants, or whatever you call it, right? I guess they call it consultants, the advisors. The first soldiers actually set foot on Da Nang Beach. I never heard of Da Nang. The only time I heard about Da Nang is that it's cheaper than Ho Chi Minh. So I'm like, oh, okay, I should go. If I like Ho Chi Minh because it's cheap, then I should go to Da Nang because it's even cheaper. Yeah, it's cheaper, but it's already super cheap, man. It could be cheaper. But yeah, it's a different vibe, Da Nang. It's a beach town. We didn't spend much time on the beach because the water was a little rough.
You couldn't really go swimming, and it's colder as you go north. I'm going to talk about the weather later, but as you go north, it gets colder. It's a neat beach, but if you've traveled a lot and been to a lot of beaches or live in grew up in California. It's like, okay, yeah, it's a beach. It's like there's nothing like. You get to see where they filmed China Beach, but then most people are like, what's China Beach? Oh, it's a 1980s TV show. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. My parents watched it. I never actually watched
Yeah.
it. There were better beaches, in my opinion, right? I read a lot of review about the Nang Beach. Oh, it's like Waikiki. I was never that impressed with the Waikiki, but I think there are
Oh,
more
yeah.
spectacular, like scenery beaches in Thailand, right? With the like spectacular rock formation and stuff like that. But Da Nang was just like a long stretch of white sand.
There's
Six.
six
We got
people.
6 viewers. Shout out. Who are the 6 people? Put your, put your
Adams
comment.
Adams representing Tucson, Andrea, Elaine, of course, and
Tucson
then
too.
three mystery people.
Green
That's awesome.
Mystery must be a fan.
University of
Uh,
Portland. Okay, so we got destinations. People know what they want to do, and research Hanoi. Maybe Hanoi is awesome still, and it's got some. I remember there are some cool things about it, but it's 15 years. A lot could
bear,
change.
the
so-
Russian bear. Remember
yeah,
that?
a
The
Russian
bear?
a Russian bear that just looked so miserable and kept falling off the ball. He was like on those little balls and kept flying off. Poor bear, but I
Was
think
it
they're
falling down? Really?
yeah. It was like
I don't remember them falling down.
yeah, he like fell down off the ball. I thought that poor bear.
Someone must be giving the bear drinks. It's like
Um,
stumbling from drinking.
No,
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. But anyway,
Hanoi, for those who
Yeah.
wants to know, Hanoi has an old town, and that's kind of culturally. I mean, it's kind of a tourist destination, but it's kind of got that old town feel. Hanoi is where the headquarters for Viet Cong. But another popular destination for Vietnam is also Ha Long Bay. And that's the James Bond, rock formation in the middle of the water. That's a very popular destination, and you can't get there from Saigon. You have to get there from Hanoi. It's
yeah,
about
you
2
could
hours
if you
drive
want to
outside
take
Hanoi.
a very very long bus ride.
You could take a very long bus ride. So those are popular destination. I guess in the upper, like northwest of Hanoi is also the Sapa. That's a place I want to go. And then there's Ha Giang Lu, which is it's supposed to be popular, but I heard it's overrun right now with tourists. So
Yeah.
those are the popular destinations to visit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more that, of course, if you're going, then why not? And some people go for like a very long time and travel up through the thing and don't spend a lot of time in one place. We met tourists like that. They're just making it a very long thing, rent a motorbike or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, there's just tons of places. All right, moving on. What
Moving
about
on.
getting around? So the airport brought you into the city, which I got to say, the airports are like, I remember Hanoi airport just kind of almost like going back and like reminded me a little Santa Rosa airport. Like, just seems so back in time. But Ho Chi Minh airport is like, holy cow, this place looks nice. Everything's polished and like chrome, and that's both domestic and international. Like domestic, I didn't expect to be that nice. Domestic's really nice. So you feel like you're at just a modern. I think it ranks up with all the great airports of the world. I mean, like
All the
SeaTac.
Asian airports.
Yeah, I guess maybe
I
they
read
go bigger on
something-
that.
I read somewhere that Vietnam is working to introduce a mega airport, kind of like the size of Hong Kong Airport or Singapore Airport or Incheon Airport in Korea. So the one that we flew into, it was big, but it's not a mega airport, and they're putting a bid to build an even bigger airport because
Yeah.
like I said earlier, it wants to grow, right? It wants to become with all the investment that the foreign countries are putting into Vietnam. It's going to be a very different place 5, 10, 15 years from now.
Taipei Airport seemed massive too. I don't know what the size compare, but I remember Taipei. You could just walk for hours. It seemed like.
Yeah.
I was like thinking, I'm gonna get my miles in by just walking back and forth. And then I found so much free stuff to do and free massage chairs. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna get a free. I just sat. There was no one around. I sat in the massage chair for like half an hour every time it ended because it had like 3 minutes. Like, start again. So, yeah. All right, get off the airport, and then you have a choice. You're gonna take. You're gonna get the Grab app probably. I don't even know if they do regular taxis. It's just everything is Grab. You can pick a
Yeah, it's
car.
Grab.
You probably would pick a car. In fact, I don't think motorbikes can come to the airport. So you pick a car at that point. But when you're in the city, then you want to be on a motorbike or do you want to walk? Do you want to be in a car? And you have those choices. The motorbikes are like the number one thing. Everyone there has a motorbike. You can get a motorbike cheaper than you get an iPhone. So you can sit on the back of someone's bike. If you are walking around, this is like Hanoi. Crosswalks are different there. Like in America, all you have to do is find a crosswalk, and once you in it, there's like this secret like law. They stop for you, and you don't have any fear. But there, it's like, nope, it's like, that's great, you're in a crosswalk, but we're just going to try and go around you. And they do.
Yeah.
They try not to hit
And
you.
they do, yeah.
But you have to be comfortable with that. And that can take a little time, because we're not just talking like, 5 miles per hour. We're talking up to like 30 miles an hour. They're kind of zooming past you. So that's just so different there. They do have, like, I think I remember, and like, it just seemed like everywhere in Hanoi, in the old city, like there was just no street intersections with street light. Everything was a roundabout, and nowhere you couldn't even find a crosswalk. But in Saigon, there are a lot of intersections now, and there are lights, and they do. I should say, at an intersection with the lights changing, then you can cross in your crosswalk, and they will, of course, stop. But I'm talking like other places where and most people there, citizens, they don't even need a crosswalk. When you want to cross the street, you walk across the street. Yeah, that's how do you cross the street? You walk across the street.
It's funny. My first night that I was there, I was trying to cross a street, and I was hesitating because I was just trying to get reacclimated in Vietnam. And I was crossing the street. I was stuttering. There were two young girls in front of me, and they felt compelled to help me to cross the street, to go, come on,
it was part of the Girl Scout. That was part of the Girl Scout training.
I think that's what it was, right? So they probably went back and said, ma'am,
they got a badge.
Yeah,
they got their like help an old person across the street badge. That's we found. They were probably looking for someone. We can't find anyone. Everyone already knows how to cross a street. Look at that old guy. Yeah.
Look at that guy.
All right. Really confused. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. We're actually. Les is also one of our 6 viewers. Are we still at 6? Right. I think we're still at 6. Man, this is like
let's see if we can get 7. Call your friends. We need 7.
Best episode ever. All right. So next, the people. You don't have to spend a lot of time, because all we have to do is say a lot of nice things. Not blowing smoke. People are really, really friendly. People are friendly. They don't really have to be friendly. And of course, they're like going to be standoffish too if you're in a place where there's no reason to be friendly. But if you go they love the tourists. The tourists are extremely welcome. It's not like France or like, do you come in a store, you annoy me, and just give us some money and nothing else. There, they just love. They just be happy, and I don't think they're like any happier. They're American versus Canadian or whatever. It's just but they also don't think, U.S. citizen. It's like, no, it's
capitalist
like,
pigs.
Yeah, you capitalist pig. No, I'm Canadian. And you don't have to say that. They welcome America. But it was like, there's friendly, and there's just like extra friendly. And I think overall people are just extra friendly. So that's not lost on me. That's cool to know that. But it's just the extra thing that you go to a place, and we went to a cafe, and it's like, we're just going to hang out here for 3 hours. Going to order stuff, but not that much. It didn't affect their turnover because there were plenty of seats. But the people who were there just seemed like you never got the impression like, you're not really eating anything. Can you leave now? It's like, you guys can stay all day if you want. Like, make yourself you really get a make yourself at home feeling at a lot of places you go to, restaurants especially. It's just like, this is your house too. And some places it literally was their house. Huh?
Yeah, and we went out the country, and the tour guide's family invited us over for dinner, and we just sat in their living room having a dinner. And during the coffee tour, we just like literally in people's. They were very hospitable. They say, "Hey, let's take a photo. I want to remember this." Yeah, it was a pretty space. It felt authentic. It wasn't like a sticky thing. So yeah, people were super friendly. The restaurants are super friendly. People are warm. I did like that part.
Oh, so since people haven't heard, like, I think we got a lot of light viewers. I'm gonna play our Good Morning Vietnam sound effect.
Oh, yeah, test out your sound effects.
Yeah, I just played it. We don't hear it, but hopefully they did. So, show of hands if you heard the sound effect. I hope they did. That's the only one we have. We're not going to play like the stuff from Good Morning Vietnam or like Full Metal Jacket. It would be funny, but I want to promote this video in Vietnam too, so I want to make a good impression.
We did not want to like fire AK-47 and shout out the things people were saying in Platoon.
Yeah, in the helicopter scenes. Okay, food. We talked a little about the food, but to recap, that food is next.
We do?
Food,
Okay, that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
both.
So yeah,
I could talk about
nothing.
food
Yeah, yeah. You could
all
talk
day.
about food all day. I liked it. I'm not a foodie. It's like I don't really. I eat to stay alive, but or sometimes not eat to stay alive. But yeah, I didn't find anything bad or that I disliked or just like, oh, I can't eat that. But some things I definitely loved more than there were some things that were just like, man, I'm gonna just eat as much as this is on the table because like, it was like I felt sometimes disappointed that I couldn't eat more, that I have a small stomach, whatever. It's like I really liked the taste and like the memories of it. But there was stuff we did on the food tour that like that was the first day that I really like. Oh man, I want to go back to
What was your
the
favorite?
I really
The
liked
beef
that
stew?
beef stew place, and I thought, man,
Oh,
I would
that
love
was
to go there just
good.
starving and just have that big bowl of stew and just like dip the. I would just take the whole French bread
The
and dip it
bread.
in.
Just,
Yeah.
ah.
The final place that well on our tour that I by that time I couldn't eat. I didn't even sample the food at that point. But was the shrimp stuff and all of that. And people were saying, "Oh, that's
Oh,
my
that was so
favorite spot." I'm like, well,
good.
I
Yeah, that
didn't
was
eat
really
any of it.
good. Yeah. Did you have pho places? What was your favorite pho place?
Um, I think, I mean, I'm torn. There was like the stuff we had in the small city, the Budang, like a small like farming town or
80
whatever.
cents pho?
Yeah, that was really good. But and they were all really good. But the stuff after New Year's, like a late night place, because they had. I looked at some photos. They had the onions. They put a lot more stuff than normal. The dish of stuff you can put in, the additives, whatever. That was really good.
Yeah.
The vegetables. So they were all really good. There's a couple places that were like, it was like it's not bad, but it's definitely that doesn't blow you away. It's like I wouldn't say it was better than a good bowl here at a good Vietnamese food. All right, we got a quest for pictures. We haven't done any photos yet.
Yeah, why don't you show some
Why don't
photos?
we catch up to where we're at now with the photos? This one actually is going to be full screen. So,
All
as
right.
I mentioned, this is, I guess I could do the black background too.
How long has this show been going on?
Well,
We've
we're
been talking.
about an hour so far.
Holy
Um,
cow.
this is like I said. I mean, it's a like kind of misleading picture because like, oh, that's not bad. Foot, leg space. No, it's bad. And that when those things come at you, this is widescreen, like wide angle. You're just it's just going to be cramped. You just have to get used to that. You're going to be cramped, and that's if someone like it really is a heavy set, that's going to be a lot worse. So, but again, the monitors are big, the windows are nice, and the food is decent. They'll try everything else they can. Service is really friendly. The people are cool. It's just a bad seat, but that's it. So, what did I select for next photo? Does it work? It
It looks
doesn't.
fancy though. Looks like leather
Oh,
seats.
good, it works. Okay, we're talking about the favorite place, the beef stew place, and this is I think that's a highly recommended place. But yeah, you want to go to this place if you're in Saigon, Michelin rated. Busy streets at night, really fun, loud. Man, if you got sensitive hearing, it's just a cacophony of noise. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, but boy, it's just insanely loud. You could like lose your mind, if you're not used to this kind of sound or get too much of it. But it's still fun.
Yeah, that's a fun place.
Okay, so prices, as I said, like you remember, 38 cents was 10,000. So Nutty Cremina, that's talking like $3, whatever. So or about 350, 360. It's not that bad. I mean, it's a nice, fun drink, but it would add up if you got like four. So you're saving probably maybe 50% there. So some of these places, and this was a fancy coffee shop, and this is kind of a cool place. A lot of Westerns, I think, go there too. So, but it's just to be clear, it's not always going to be like, oh, 10 cents for a cup of coffee. It's like, don't expect that. Same thing with like sweets and stuff like that. Pumpkin cake. So $3.80 for a piece of pumpkin cake. Fine. Tiramisu. $4 for a tiramisu. So you're not going to
Which
be
one
sick.
is that? Is that the one that we went up to the
Yeah,
food
yeah, that's
tour?
the Coffee
Oh,
Works or
okay.
whatever. That's
But that's
like
a really fancy coffee shop.
yeah, that was kind of like
Like
especially in
high end.
Seattle, like a nice place in Seattle. Like I don't go to too many, but I've been to a few. But it's definitely nicer, more fun. You wouldn't go to Starbucks there. I only did fast food once there. Yeah, so how do you picture Saigon? It's just extremely modernized to a lot of degree, not in everywhere, but depending on what part of the city you're at. But it can be, this almost isn't really indicative of like kind of our experience for a lot of it, because at the ground level, it's more of like smaller, busy streets with a lot of things. This is more the business area, I think, or at least kind of resembles it. Food, yeah, really good food. We talked about like what you can get. what is it like? There's meals that were like only like for 3 people. They're like $15, and that was not just for one dish. That was for like 4 dishes and non-alcoholic drinks. So you're
Yeah,
getting,
delicious.
yeah, you're getting some good food. Yeah, this is kind of more like our area. I mean, yeah, a lot of motorbikes and stuff like that. Cross with caution. The small shop at the bottom level is where people have their stores. The top level is where people live. So you'll see a lot of places like this in Saigon. Massage. All right. Yeah, I wanted to like proof of like, okay, here's exactly what it is. So what is that? 60 minutes, 400. So $3, like about $12, $13 or $14. Almost $20 for 90 minutes, and then they don't do a 2-hour one there, but yeah, and they kind of tell you shampoo, face washing, facial, head massage, ear cleaning. I don't know if I want them cleaning my
I
ears.
did ear cleaning.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It clean out your wax. You can hear better.
All right, hear better. What? Wait, what'd you say? Nail and toenail cleaning. I did. The place I went to, the heel scrubbing was like I don't know, 30 seconds of like a little stone. Like, okay. I mean, it wasn't. It's still fun. Oh wait, there's $1 million. So $38 for 2 hours. So this one's a little higher. Was it a lot? That's like 50% higher than we were at, or it was 600,000. But yeah, so you gotta shop around, like walk around, and like I mean, I would say if it's 900,000, just go to a place that looks legit. But if it's 600 versus $1 million, it's like you're missing out. You can get 2 massages for the price of this.
I mean, one pro tip, right? If you're shopping around and you find
Yeah.
a place that's like all of a sudden like a massage is like 4 times more than the one down the street, that's probably not a family-friendly massage
Oh
place.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, we really didn't look into that kind of stuff, but I just wonder.
We did
It's like,
not, but,
it's like, is it
they
illegal? Is it like, it kind of, well, I don't know. It's like you see like some ladies and you just think, what are their jobs? But their job might just be go-go dancing, and it's like they're dressed
Well-
very skimpily, but they're there just to do a go-go dance. I don't know. Is that
So
legal?
interesting. Our last night, the place where we stayed at, the place you stayed at before you flew out, it was an apartment complex, right? And I thought it was kind of interesting because there were a lot of like girls who showed up in the taxi cab in like school outfits, schoolgirl
Oh yeah,
outfits.
the little
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. Well, I think what happened is that the place is actually a private tutoring place, right? I see all this creepy old men that come down. There must be private tutors.
Oh, they're
because
giving
all
them
these
English
girls
lessons.
are-
Yeah. They
Yeah, I
wanna-
think they're giving English
they're-
lessons, right?
they're
I'm
in
like, wow, that's
school.
great.
You're
This
there
is
in
like a tutoring center, because all these school girls will just get dropped off at this building, and all these private tutors will come down and pick them up, and they go and get a tutoring lessons for about 30 minutes. Then the girls come back down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That was the kind of like the gist of that building had a lot of that, but I don't imagine it's not a dedicated brothel, but the people that live there, it's like,
Bravo, private tutoring place.
yeah, all right, let's just go with private tutor. But all right, let's call it that. But man, if you live there and that's your home and you bought a condo there, and it's like every night, it's like there's going to be
Yeah.
dozens and dozens of people bringing up their
Tutoring
their
sessions.
students, and it's like that would suck. It's like, dude, man,
That would suck.
it's turned into like a university of that sort.
Well, I think that apartment building caters to Westerners, right? So I think there were a lot of like maybe Korean or Chinese or American that is like the short-term stay, right? The corporation would probably rent a place or buy a place, and then these people would just stay there for like a month or two, right? I think that's what it is. It's not families, right, per se. I think it's just a temporary business dormitories.
No,
That's the impression.
I hope the walls are thick at least, because I wouldn't want to hear that every night. Like, oh man, I want to sleep, or noise canceling. We got a comment on our food. Maybe I should have done a food video or done a lot more on the food, because I didn't do a lot of food pictures. But Adam had said that the egg and pork look really good.
Oh, the food is fantastic. We can do a food episode in Vietnam. You could go on forever.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
have The pizza is
What was that
fantastic.
thing? Oh, this one. He was talking about the pork,
Japanese food.
grilled
Japanese
pork
food,
dish,
fantastic.
fried eggs. Oh, actually, he was asking about it. Were fried eggs prevalent in the dish? You know what? I didn't see that many eggs.
No, not a lot.
Maybe
It's very
mixed
prevalent
in, but
It's very prevalent in Thailand food, but not as much in Vietnamese food.
yeah, it was a good meal. I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but I definitely liked this one. Yeah, I had the soup, and we had some good stuff there. All right, moving on. Yeah, firing an AK-47, that was fun. That's just like That's a good experience. It's just you got to have these. When I see that, I think, man, in the movies where people are firing these weapons without sound, it's like that's so unrealistic because you would lose your hearing so fast. But in
They're
war,
so
people,
loud.
yeah, it's just like how do people function in a war? Because you can't have these big things on when you're fighting. You won't be able to communicate and all. But if you don't, you're not going to be able to communicate because you're going to lose your hearing. Yeah, yeah, a lot of leftovers. We'll talk about the war in a little bit, but like a C-130, a lot of leftovers from the war that we just kind of say, well, we're leaving now, get out, and you kind of see that in the movies of like, pushing, they brought some on the ships just to push them over the edge of the ships to get them in the ocean. But it wasn't like, I think in some situations, like, you watch World War II and stuff like that, and like the Nordic sighting was like such a secret weapon, they said, you got to blow this up rather than have it get in the enemy. Enigma is a better example, actually. It's like no one can get a hold of our Enigma. So this wasn't one. It's like you can't let them get a hold of our technology. It's like it's an airplane. They pretty much know how they work. So which I think we left a lot of equipment there. Or didn't try to like sabotage it because like who cares? They can have it. Rooftop party. Now we talk about costs. This one was definitely a lot more expensive. But you didn't have to do something like this. But it's New Year's and let's have some fun. But and it did come with some alcohol.
It was pretty baller experience, right? I mean, we're on the rooftop. It's on New Year's Eve. It's got this beautiful view, and it comes with the alcohol. Lots of people, and I think that whole thing was when we get our own private table. It was like you have to kind of pay to get in, right? So you're not overcrowded. I think it was like, if I remember correctly, it's $200 USD, but that comes with 2 full bottles of alcohol. We had tequila. And I think we have vodka on the first one. I mean, funny story is that I didn't want to drink. I wasn't drinking. Well, I drank the most that I had in like 5 years in that one night. But we had we paid for it, so we got this bottle of tequila. I think it was like, I don't know, it's a fancy tequila. So I'm just like, you know what? We're just gonna go around like giving away shots, right? And just so we can get rid of the alcohol. So I literally went around the table, and the wait staff would come around with like shot glasses, and I would just go up to random people and say, "You want to take a shot? You want to take a shot?" I go, "Yeah." And but my goal was to get rid of the alcohol, and many of them just like, "Oh, okay, we want to repay the favor. Now you can have a shot of our drink." I'm like, "No, you don't understand. I'm trying to get rid of my alcohol.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get yours."
Yeah, it was some fun drinking going. If you're like, yeah, if it's a good place, if you're okay being a little social, meeting strangers, and alcohol helps, of course, then yeah, I think it was a fun. The food was shite, but because it comes like, oh, we're gonna feed you dinner. It's like, yeah, not really. And it wasn't like it made you vomit. It was just like it's stuff you probably heated up, buy it at Costco, heated up in the microwave type stuff.
Yeah, it was not.
But the alcohol was legit. I mean, it was like I didn't drink, but it was name brand alcohol. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about the food there.
It was a beautiful view when the fireworks was going off. It was pretty spectacular.
Yeah, so it's a cool thing. But again, this is more expensive, but it's also optional. You don't have to do something like that. Leftover tanks, the same thing, and the Chinook. So yeah, when you get way outside of Vietnam, then you can start seeing like stuff you might see more in the movies, like the jungle and open land. It's just like you have to get pretty far outside of Saigon to start seeing stuff like this. I mean, this was 5 hours out, although you see it a lot sooner. But yeah, most of our experience was not this. This was kind of like get out of the city and off to coffee plantations and all that fun stuff. Coffee. Yeah, coffee we talked about for food. It's a big industry there, number 2 exporter. You can get something that's called Vietnamese coffee. Even here, you find the right sellers for it. Not so much in restaurants, but it has a very unique taste. You know you're drinking Vietnamese coffee. They do something very special with it, as opposed to just making generic coffee that could become Starbucks or become what Folgers, whatever. Like, I don't know what the percentage of coffee actually becomes Starbucks versus Folgers or Maxwell House. But they're big into it. It's sold everywhere. It's like a huge thing is coffee. I would say be careful that you're going to get too much milk and sugar, because that is like Vietnamese coffee. Yeah, half of it's coffee, half of it's condensed milk. So yeah, you want to.
That's why it tastes so good.
Yeah, I mean, it tastes great, but there's a lot of sweetened coffee drinks, and it's fun stuff to try. It's just like if you're health conscious, you don't want to spend too long. But that's if you're like moving there or living there. If you're there for a week or two, then yeah, have fun.
So fun fact, it's the number 2 exporter of coffee. I think number 1 is Brazil.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know either. but I don't hear people talk about coffee from Vietnam a lot, other than the Vietnamese coffee, right? So most of the Vietnamese coffee export becomes instant coffee. And that's
Oh
why it's
yeah.
so
Oh
trendy.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, then probably Folgers too as well. I don't know how much even people buy or sell that stuff anymore. It used to be a lot bigger, I think, than it is now. But then again, it gets expensive after a while. All right, yeah, this is the bridge that has the dragon. It only goes off on weekends, so plan your trip accordingly if you need to see it. But it's part of Da Nang, cool city, and again, a totally different
Eh,
experience than.
Wait, speaking of food, we went to a fantastic restaurant on the roof of Da Nang. Did you like that place?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
the
Actually, that
vegetarian
was probably
place.
one of my
That was really
favorites.
good.
Yeah, that place really stood out as everything was just awesome to eat. And it's like we only ordered like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 things, but everything we saw on the menu could have ordered other things and probably would have enjoyed it just as much. So there's like almost no way to go wrong, it seems like. I don't know if there's anything on that menu I would have hated. So it's almost like, yeah, go back a second time, order different things next time and have
Yeah,
some.
yeah, and the whole meal that so there were five of us, and we had like rooftop, beautiful view. We had drinks, and I think the whole meal was like $60.
Yeah, that one was insanely cheap for how much you're getting. And then if you're in Da Nang, you can take the Golden Hand Bridge tour. Cool, just to see the bridge and the scenery. Like part I really liked was these views, and that's where you kind of got to see the mountains and stuff like that. Because this is like, for the most part, authentic. And they said like the waterfalls coming down the mountain were like naturally that way. And sometimes I wonder if like, well, maybe just help it out, like help it go left a little bit to be in the right line. But Golden Hand is still cool. It's amusement park stuff. It's like I relate it to kind of if you're in Washington and you want to go to like, oh, it's a German town of Leavenworth, and it's like
Yeah,
but it's like when I first had heard about it, oh, cool, so Germans moved here like hundreds of years ago and opened a city, and it's like, well, not exactly. It looks like Germany. It's amusement parkish. So the place it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's like you're not going to get authentic Vietnam. It's like, oh, I'm going to see. Authentic would be going to Budang. That's where you're going to see like how people actually live and like whatever, how they build their houses and stuff. But it's a cool tour. It's fun to do. My biggest advice, if you ever decide, is just go in the you try to be there first thing in the morning. Hire a tour that knows that is going to take you there, or leave a comment. We'll tell you who the tour guide was that's going to get you on this mountain like before anyone else. Because otherwise, your pictures are going to be full of people. And like Terry had said, like this country is just getting more and more tourism. So things like this, I would say most of the people were Vietnamese, or Asians at least, but you're not getting as many Westerners, but in the future, you're just going to get more and more Westerners. So you add that, and these places are going to be like, they have like 5 gondola lines going up this mountain. It's just insane how popular it's becoming. And I had never heard of it before the trip, but I can see why, if you're going to Vietnam and you're looking up, what's there to do? This is probably on your, going
it's
to come
pretty
up.
cool though. I thought the amusement park was really well done. It
Yeah.
wasn't just like some shady like Leavenworth is kind of like you're looking like you look at the detail, it just looks little it looks fake. I thought this amusement park was really well done. The European towns, the halls, the plants, and they had a little music playing. So as you're walking through, you kind of get the vibe of the area. Really well done.
Yeah, it's kind of like being in a movie. Like, I was like,
Yeah,
I know I'm awake, but I feel like I'm in a dream.
yeah, that's how it felt. That's how it felt. So I was amazed how well, I didn't expect that in Vietnam,
You know where
right?
that line's from, right?
Yeah, I know the
Okay,
Bruges.
I wasn't sure if he was like, oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, it's the line for Bruges. It's like one of the reasons I went to Bruges. But yeah, go ahead. What you're saying?
No, I was saying I thought it was really well done. Maybe not as good as Disneyland, but it's not far from Disneyland.
I don't know. I haven't been to Disneyland since like a long time. It's like not as good as I guess. I don't know. Like, I remember there were parts of Disneyland before they had to what did Ellen say? Fat people ruined Small World. She got in trouble for that one. but they had to redo but I remember Small World being kind of like, this is like cardboard cutout, like painted wood, and that part of that was kind of the charm. It's like, yeah, it's the way it was when Walt built it, but I don't know, now it's probably different. But yeah, it's a good experience. And there are places to actually, we didn't eat it all in this thing, but it probably would have been overpriced. But yeah, I imagine there was a beer place. I didn't get any beer.
Yeah, we
but,
did not. We did not. The
yeah.
guys got us out of there. Our tour guide got us out there pretty fast.
Yeah. So I've seen some photos of what this looks like when it's not foggy. If whenever I travel, I bring the clouds. So it's like Pigpen. If you ever watched Peanuts, Pigpen had that cloud of dust that followed him everywhere. I got a cloud that follows me whenever I go up high. But it's a cool experience. So you get a different type of view. You just kind of get this ensconced in fog type view, which is kind of like cool. It's like mysterious, but it's a whole different view if you don't have that. And they'll tell you ahead of time, bring jackets. It's gonna it did rain for us, so it's it's cool. It's worth doing. It looks like it's stone, but apparently it's made out of iron and steel and stuff. The suit. I think we talked a lot about the suit, so probably don't have to recover that. But there are these places everywhere. Even this is like a franchise. There are places all over the place to buy clothing and have them custom made. So no one seemed to have a bad experience. No one felt like they got ripped off or the material wasn't good. So I would say this is a safe thing to do. And if you got a new job and your boss said you got to have 4 suits before you start work, you take a trip to Da Nang. You don't even have to stop at Saigon. Just go right to Da Nang and go get yourself some suits.
You can pay $650. Like between the flight and the cost of suit, it would cost you less money. You travel to save money as the philosophy.
Yeah,
that's my philosophy. Yeah. There's some places are so cheap that you can actually save money by traveling there and doing things there.
Yeah, it's like almost reminds me of medical tourism. It's like, I can go have like blepharoplasty in another country and save some money.
Vietnam is also big on plastic surgery.
Oh, really? Huh? There you go.
Yeah, really big.
Keep that in mind.
Mixture.
Yeah, so you could probably, I imagine like for what you paid, I was thinking like if you did say, well, you already measured me for one, how much for like, a second one? And I'll bet the price would come way down. Yeah, like I'll bet the prices would come way down if you ordered more than one. Even domestic airlines, I thought were pretty good. I mean, their service was outstanding. They bow and stuff. But I thought I had of course, the row is empty for me. I had a good experience. It's like I enjoyed it just as maybe even more than domestic here on some flights. So I got to say, it was just funny that the TV, it seemed like kind of antiquated. Like, wait, the monitors that kind of pop out of the ceiling and stuff like that. But the domestic experience was very pleasant, surprisingly pleasant. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to be boxed in like sardines. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. You didn't feel like the first time I flew domestic in China, I'm like, they would literally duct tape holding the armrest together. And I'm like, I don't feel so safe, right? It was not like that in Vietnam. The planes was up to the Western standard, right? World-class standard. I didn't feel like anything was compromised when I was flying domestic.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, we also flew Vietnam Air, which is considered more of a premium airline.
Yeah.
Going from Hong Kong to Vietnam, I flew in Air Asia, and you can tell, like, they're cutting corners. It's like Ryanair. So you don't get food, right? They pass food and like, hey, what's mine? You didn't pay for it. Like, okay, I guess I'll get food.
Oh, that's like Norwegian Air.
It's just like ultra low cost, right? Like they charge you for everything. But that's the experience I wanted. But the Vietnam Airline, which we took from Ho Chi Minh to Da Nang, that's considered more of a premium airline within Vietnam.
Yeah, so fun fact for you to mention duct tape, but for any viewers, if you ever see like what looks like duct tape on the outside of a plane on a wing, it's not actually, they do this, but it's not duct tape, it's called speed tape, and it's just to do like minor cosmetic things until they actually can fix what's a cosmetic problem only. But it is just funny that it exists and it's painted silver, so it looks like duct tape, so people will take photos and think, they duct tape in our pictures together. It's not even just like Frontier or Spirit, it's like regular airlines. So it's like, I expect duct tape on those ones, but
the duct tape that I saw on the Chinese airlines, literally it was duct tape.
Well, yeah, but it's inside. I'm talking about on the wing.
Was like flimsy, yeah.
But if you saw like on the wing,
if I saw duct tape on the wing.
Well, but that's the thing. Like on Frontier, these places, they do use speed tape on the wing, and it looks like duct tape. So people say, "I'm not flying this airline," and it gets in the news, and pilots have to
I would have
say,
freaked out. I'd be
"Yeah,
like that passenger in Twilight Zone, who
yeah,
always
yeah."
saw
There's
it.
yeah, the Gremlin. That was um, Star Trek guy, Captain Kirk, William Shatner.
Maybe the original. There's the movie, and it's the.
Oh well, the original, I believe, was.
No, okay.
Okay, so yeah, extremely clean and polished, and like, dang, this is a nice looking. This is a nice looking airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like a third world airport, huh? I
Yeah.
don't remember what the airport was like in Hanoi when we went 15 years ago.
Yeah, I just
Do you remember?
remember. I don't remember. I just remember this like this room area where you had to get your immigration. It just seemed like you
Yeah.
were in the middle of Siberia or something. These just people standing around. It's like this is just like, oh, you don't have it stamped right, and like yeah. This is just like so. When you go back to the airport, this is another 2 hours when you go back to fly out, because it's not like you're even flying in. You're flying out. I'm like, why do you need so much to leave your country? Who cares? We're like, what do you care who they are? We're leaving. Because like at SeaTac, it's like you don't need immigration to fly out of SeaTac. It's like you're leaving the country, whatever. I mean, show your
Yeah.
passport at like when you get to the gate agent, whatever. But it's just something foreign to me. I was like, I don't need to be there so early. Well, you do for like here. Like this line here was about 90 minutes, and then you went through the regular,
TSA.
the security, yeah. So this was a huge long line. It's got worse. Even this was low. It's like dang. So I was like one of the first to leave, and I was telling other people, yeah, make sure you do follow that 3 hour rule, once you get inside, there's places to eat or sit down or get drinks. I will note prices. When you are an international, they're going to go way. At this point, your prices have gone way back up to close to normal, so you're not going to get the discounts anymore. Although domestic was still pretty cheap, and even inside the airport. But here, I mean, the only time we did fast food was Burger King, and that was like $15 for a double Whopper meal or something. It's like, dang,
Yeah.
yeah, you're
You can
you're
feed the whole
you're
family with the
yeah, your good
Whopper.
deals are done. So yeah, those are the pictures I decided. But we were trying to make it not a total slideshow, but
Yeah.
want to
All
cover.
right. So here, I mean, that was fun, right? So now that we've gone through this thing, the question to you is, would you go back?
Maybe. I mean, it's not on the list, but if like, if I were dating some woman and she thought that would be a great idea, I'd say, or if dating a Vietnamese girl and she wanted to go, I'll go.
You want to go see home?
I did get invited by I was dating this woman and she was Vietnamese and she wanted to go and we broke up before we actually went, but I thought I'll go with your family. That'd be fun because they have an insider that speaks the language, even though you don't have to. But other than that, I don't know. The suit thing, if I got in a situation where I suddenly needed 3 suits, I would consider something like that too. I think that would be a cool adventure type trip. I mean, I already made my video, so I don't think I would do that again unless I was
So
bringing.
Here's a question for you, right? Okay.
Yep.
Pick some of the countries places you've been to. Mexico City or Vietnam, where would you go? What would you
Well, I'd go back to Mexico City just because the distance. It would just be much easier.
Proximity.
There's a lot more to see still in Mexico City. I want to practice my Spanish. I mean, I tried to learn Vietnamese, and I got the please and thank you.
Why
and
bother?
my name. But yeah, you get to the point where like we're doing a lot of work for 2 weeks, and then you're never going to use it again in life, and it seems like it's a lot more difficult than a lot of other language, especially the easy ones like Spanish and stuff. So. Yeah, it's like using Duolingo. It's like I was constantly like, man, I thought I learned this word already, or like I cannot seem to memorize it. So that's a tough one. So I would say Mexico City for sure. Yeah, and even like
Auschwitz
Taiwan.
and
Huh?
Auschwitz or Saigon.
I've been to Auschwitz. That's a place you don't have to go back to a second time. But
So you would pick Saigon over Auschwitz.
yeah. I would.
What about Taiwan? What
I would go to
you,
Taiwan. I would go back to Taiwan before I go back to Vietnam. But there's a lot I haven't seen in Taiwan. And again, Taiwan's been 15 years, so they're really promoting travel too. Their tourism industry is getting bigger, so they really want people to come here and start seeing it. So I think, they sold me on like, here's marketing. That was like looking at all the big photos on the wall of the like scenic, like natural wonders, all the nature. Like, dang, that looks. I haven't seen any of that. I've seen some of the Lantern City and the waterfalls and the City on the Clouds, but there's a lot I haven't seen there.
Yeah, there's a lot to
So
see
good job,
in
Jim Belver. All right, let's kind of go through these things really quickly because I figured maybe there's something. I just wanted to say, yeah, the war. People don't really obsess about it. It's like, I mean, I guess maybe they might. It's been 50 years, no hard feelings. It's not really brought up except for when we are like the tunnel tour. Obviously, they're going to talk about the war and the tunnel tour, but just it's just I got the sense there's just no hard feelings type thing. It's like if you came to America and said, "Hey, we need to talk about slavery," it's like, yeah, I guess, but I don't know what to tell you. It's like if you
What are you
really want
talking
to,
about? That is
like,
what happened. That's a
yeah.
conspiracy theory.
What about your Civil War? I don't know. I wasn't alive. Yeah, North fought South. Who won? North won. Yeah. I mean, it's like and yeah. It's what do you want me to say? So it's like there's no reason to kind of bring it up, but it just felt like I think people might be like, yeah, what the war? Aren't they going to be mad at us? Like, not really.
What's interesting is like when we were walking around, we see a lot of older people just kind of hang out on the street by themselves, right? So younger people, I kind of go like, okay, they probably don't remember the war. But when I see some older person, I always get paranoid. Are they going to be like, you know, I'm going to get you.
Yeah, but you don't exactly look like, without knowing you and hearing you, they're going to not think, you fought for the
I
U.S.
would be okay.
Yeah.
I would be okay, right? But they might hold my wife hostage and
Yeah.
hold you hostage, and I have
Yeah.
to like fight my way out of that place.
Yeah, I just got the feeling that it's not a problem at all. It's like that's 50 years ago, and you do learn. Like people forget, like it's not just America's the first person that kind of went over there and tried to screw with Vietnam. It's like the French and China. It's like
French,
just been
yeah.
Japan. Everybody wants to just, and they're kind of like, man, what's your problem with us? Leave us alone. We're happy. That's almost ironic that they're so happy people and friendly. I think it's when you're forced to be so close to each other and socialized, you do learn. I think societies learn to actually get along better because it's like you kind of have to. And I still look transportation. Everyone honks their horn, but it's not out of anger. It's out of like, hey, I'm passing you, don't hit me, or like that kind of thing. It's like a happy honking or whatever. It's not so much.
It's a
just like-
friendly honking.
Everywhere you go, it's like honk honk.
It's
I
a
was like,
friendly middle finger.
yeah. Yeah, friendly middle finger. That's a way to put it. I remember being in New York City, and so like it was like one cab driver. The cabbie says he passed a guy that was double parked. He's like, "Hey, f you," but he wasn't even saying it with mad. He was just like, "I gotta say my f you." I think he was just showing off to tourists. Like, I'm gonna be a cab driver and swear at people because that's what they expect.
That's what they pay me to do.
Yeah, they would expect this as part of their tour. The tunnels we talked about, Da Nang we talked about, Hanoi we talked about. Weather, I guess that's the final thing is, I got lucky, no rain. I mean, it could have been like pouring. I guess it's not big that time of year, but man, I don't think it, like in Saigon, it rained at all that I can remember. I mean, it's
It
like
rained,
hot.
before you showed up.
Oh,
I got
okay,
caught
yeah.
in the rain before you got there.
Yeah, it wasn't oppressively hot either. It was like, again, it's January.
It was hot. Well, it was pretty hot.
But I'm talking about
Yeah,
hot, where like Texas hot. It wasn't Texas
Yeah.
hot.
Well, I was in Hanoi in July, like 3 years ago, and I remember halfway through the trip, was like my third day. I was so dehydrated. I was getting this horrible headache, and I was just like, my muscle was seizing up because I was so dehydrated. That was horrible. Vietnam, we went actually in the cool season, if
Yeah.
there's such a thing, right? What would you say the temperature was? Was it like 80?
Yeah, it was 80s. I didn't feel like it was 90s, but it's the kind of thing that you're also in the shade a lot because there's always
Yeah.
buildings and stuff. So direct sunlight, there really wasn't that much of it a lot of the time. It was like a lot of time, yeah. And plus this time of year, the sun's got its angled trajectory, so you're not really in a lot of direct sunlight. I think out in Budang was more direct sunlight, but also now you're talking 20 degrees cooler. And you
Yeah, I
wear,
got
like, sweatshirts at
sunburned.
night.
Did you see a photo of my sunburn? I got like a little salon patch on my back, and I didn't put on any sunscreen, so I had this like perfectly
Yeah.
rectangular sunspot.
Well, you're talking
yeah,
dehydration and sun, like these are just user error type thing. I think that's a
It
you
is.
problem.
It is
That's
user
not
error.
Vietnam. That's you.
That's a me problem.
yeah, it's
I
a you
did
problem.
find the weather to be very. I mean, it's not so bad if you're just wearing shorts and t-shirts, but it was very humid. I sweat a lot,
Yeah, I mean,
and
you're
I had to
dealing with
shower
that.
every like twice a day.
Man, that's something I gotta say. At all the places I was at, I only had one hot shower because it was always like I think they share the hot water. But man, it's like one time it was like no one else had even gotten back to the Airbnb, and like I want to go first and take my first hot shower, and it's like it's lukewarm. I guess it's shared with other people in the building because no one in the unit used it up. And man, I did miss. I missed like actually that final Airbnb, the brothel or university, this student teaching.
Tutorial.
Yeah, that had hot showers there. That was cool. But yeah,
Well, there was one place we stayed up in the country, literally has no hot water, not even lukewarm water. He had no hot water. It was just cold water.
Yeah.
But the hotel must have been like what, like $8 a night.
yeah, that place was
But
cheap.
good news, yeah, the place was really cheap, right? But it's I would not recommend that place. I mean, it's an experience, but it's not a hotel that I would recommend. It's charming, but almost too charming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we didn't talk about bathrooms, but I think any place tourists are going to be, it's got Western style toilets. But do bring toilet paper. Like keep it in your backpack. Keep it wherever you go, because there's like bidets. They're not actually real bidets, but they work as bidets. But they like I got a nozzle on a hose, like you have in front of your house to clean your sidewalk, and you either can clean and they're meant for like you can clean the bathroom floor, like wash it down, or you can clean your butt. So they'll have that, but you're gonna be wet. It's like how are you gonna dry yourself? So you got to bring toilet paper for that. So you can still do both, but man, there's places where it's like nothing. Okay, like I guess even I think that hotel might have had nothing too. It's like yeah,
Depending on which hotel.
and only one like Eastern toilet would I see that I came across was in the bathroom at a bus stop that nobody. What?
The squat type?
Yeah.
The
That's the
squat
only one I saw. But there was like also, you know what else I didn't see? Any Westerners there. We were the only like white people probably. Like there were even people there were like, whoa,
Wow, you're here.
look at you don't look like we do. So and even kids are like, oh my gosh, one of those. They're so
Run!
happy. No, they're actually more like happy to see. Oh, we want to touch you. Like what's
Oh,
going
really?
on? Like, yeah, they seem
They
like.
didn't give me the same. They didn't give me the
Oh.
same treatment.
Well, yeah, but you look different.
You look like us.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I think we covered everything. If there's any questions, we still have 6 viewers. Do we have 6 viewers? I thought we had 6. No, 5 at the
I think they
moment.
fell asleep. Yeah,
No, we
they-
still
they fell asleep.
5. We got people to the very end. And then, once we promote, we're going to have 20,000 people watching. So
Are we gonna promote this one?
I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah. Well,
I think we kind of hit our mark. 20,000 people. I think
maybe
that-
our subscribers will it'll pop up on their feed and they'll want
Yeah.
to know what's like to be in Vietnam. And
Actually,
they'll be inspired to want to go to Vietnam after hearing this.
It shows ranking on our followers. We have Lainey as number one subscriber follower. Who's number 2? Adam number 2 and number 3.
And
Okay.
number 3,
And Leslie's at
my
number
wife.
3. Yeah, I guess they're in groups, but
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
We're happy to have them all. So you guys are
Well,
from when there's
after hearing this, our fan will want to be tutors in Vietnam. They'll want to run the tutor shops.
fun stuff. All right, so yeah, people leave your comments, questions, and
Hit that like button.
smash
and,
the like, subscribe, and ideas for future topics.
Yeah, maybe this is what we'll do, right? Tell us where you want us to visit, because we're running out of places to visit. Tell us where you want us to go, and we'll consider going there.
And do a live. Well, actually, we tried to live stream from Vietnam. It's like, we're not getting any.
The microphone didn't work.
Yeah, that's a whole video. Technology.
All right.
All right.
That was fun.
Peace out, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Peace out. Bye.
5 people to the very end.